you called her out in page 165. Give me a little backstory on what's that all about.
Yeah, so I call it Cindy's secret in the book. Cindy Ertman has been the #1 producing loan originator at Platinum Capital and now RPM from the day she started all the way through today, and that's more than 10 years. I can tell you that the volume that she produces is just magical. When she and I were working together as a sole retail originator, she generated in a single year $186 million worth of loans. And I take a breath every time that I say that. She was ranked something like 40th in the nation in terms of loan originators. And again, on the retail side, without the benefit of having a big bank producing leads or anything along those lines, she produced that business herself. Well, there were two things that I would call Cindy's secret in here. One of them, when we opened her up and saw what she was doing, what we found is that 90% of her business was generated from just 12 clients. And I will tell you, Dave, one of the things that I find with top producing salespeople, no matter where I go in the world, no matter what industry that I'm speaking in, there's a common thread, and that's this. The better loan originators, the better salespeople, actually call on less people and they write more business. The key is they call on the right people. Too many salespeople, too many loan originators calling on too many people that don't deserve to be called on. And so finding the top people to call on, finding the Pareto accounts, finding the real estate people that are actually selling homes at some quantity and consistency and building relationships there is the key to success as a top producing originator, as well as other people that could feed you business, just as Josh mentioned earlier in terms of financial advisors. The second thing that I would tell you about Cindy is that she practiced the word leverage. And when I talk about leverage, there are very many things that we could put under it, but here's one of them, and that is she had a team of assistants. There are things that need to be done as a loan originator, but not necessarily done by you. And so we should always be asking ourselves as originators, am I working on the highest payoff activity that I could be working on? At the time that Cindy was generating that kind of volume, Dave, she was employing 4 personal assistants to handle a lot of the things that are called day-to-day that are absolutely necessary to dot the I's and cross the T's on these apps. But I will tell you, generating the business and building the relationships is the key to her success.
No, we could probably end the call right now and just say, hey guys, let's focus on nothing but that for the rest of this week, and how well are you executing around that? Again, it kind of fits under the category. I mean, I do think most people know that, but are you really living those principles? I mean, I even was thinking of myself. I mean, I consider myself highly effective, very successful as a sales leader, but I could fine-tune that. Hey, Josh, I hope you're still on the call. Anything that you want to add to this, or anything that you want to ask Jack right now?
Well, Jack, I love the concept of leverage, and I actually did you go through Advantage Publishing for your book, Jack?
Yes, I did.
They do a fantastic job. Anyways, had to ask you that. But leverage, Dave, you asked me my mortgage edge why, and I don't think we should uncap this now. I think we should do that on September 2nd when we get together again. But one of my answers to the why was leverage. And there's just no way to get to those numbers that you're mentioning without leverage, without a team. And Edge allows incredible leverage. It allows the financial advisors, and it allows the realtors, and it even allows the clients to be so impressed with the message that they kind of syndicate it by sending it to their other clients and to their other advisors and to their other realtors. And so I think leverage plays a big piece of why I use Edge.
That's awesome. And again, leverage. So many people don't leverage. Anybody that's closing under 5 loans a month, I would challenge you to and by the way, and you're working hard. You're putting in at least an 8-hour day. My guess is you're not calling the right people, and when you do get up to bat for a loan, or when you get up to bat with a referral partner, there's a big difference between great and good. You're doing good enough, but it's not great. And so, that concept of delivering the best presentation in a way that can be leveraged, calling on the right people. I mean, we could just end the call and be done. But we're not going to be done because there's too much more value to deliver. Go ahead, Jack.
Hey, Dave. Let me just throw something in here. So no matter how good you are as an originator, there are only so many loans that you can personally write. There are only so many calls that you can make. There are only so many calls that you can take. There are only so many face-to-face meetings that you can make. And so what we really have to force ourselves to do in order to generate significantly larger volumes than the average producer out there is we need to figure out how to leverage ourselves.